consistency of content was something else on our table of content. Scheduling, pressure to keep posting versus taking a break. This is, I think, kind of a theme throughout the creator economy, and every creator's journey is the idea of taking a break versus feeling like if you take a break, you're going to lose steam on the algorithm versus all that kind of stuff. And a lot of it ties back into doing the things that you're really passionate about. I think if you are burning out, and I think this is kind of a different way of looking at it, right? Like the pressure to keep posting versus taking a break. Burning out, I think, typically comes from you doing things that you don't enjoy, like over and over and over again. So you obviously stop wanting to do them. Scheduling, I think this comes down to like who you are as a person and like how you operate. Cause like I don't have bricked off like scheduling pieces of my calendar where I'm like, this is only going to be my.
Are you saying to create or scheduling out content?
Create.
Okay.
So I'm not like Monday morning is when I go in and film this. We do as a group because that's hard with a lot of pieces, but individually, when it comes to scheduling out when I'm going to film, it's more so like when I feel good about it. The pressure to keep posting. This is actually a conversation that almost like a year ago when we were in the old office, when things on my personal TikTok first started like kind of taking off with like New York City stuff. And I remember being like, I don't know if I'm not going to like race to 100K because I don't want to make content really unless I really want to make it. And you were like, well, now you got to do like, the top 5 restaurants, top 5 this, whatever. And I was like, I don't want to do that shit. And I don't even know if I put a video up since we talked about that conversation.
Like years on TikTok.
Right. So like I blew up to like 60K so quickly and then I just stopped posting. And I literally don't look back and I'm like, I regret that at all because I just didn't want to post anymore because I wasn't passionate about it.
All right, but let's talk about the pressure to keep posting if you were, right? Like let's say it had been something that you were obsessed with. How do you manage that?
Why would you feel pressure if it was something that you love to do?
Like if you literally just needed a break or it was too much or you had life shit going on because you're doing this as a side thing. Like I think we're in a privileged position to be able to create content at our disposal. Like for example, right now I'm about to be out for 3 weeks. Let's say like I'm on fire with my personal Knicks content that I've always wanted to do. Like how do you manage that? And what I would say is I think it's almost like a basketball game. Like if you've come in and you scored like 6 points, like you're doing well, but like it's okay. You can still be subbed out of the game. If you've scored like 18 points in the fourth quarter, like I'm all for the heat check, the double down, the triple down. So like it's a seasonal thing for most content, I would say. And that you'll learn as you're in the industry longer. Like pretty much any industry is seasonal. So you kind of figure out when you need to be posting content and when you can take those breaks.
That's a good angle that you brought up from like, oh, things are going really well, but I'm going to be gone for like a few weeks. Honestly, when that was the case for me, or still is the case, if I feel like we're rolling and I want to post content, I will make sure that I'm posting content even if I'm away for that. I think realistically for me, it comes down to if I want to post it, then I will. Yeah. Like if I feel like I need a break, that's usually because I don't want to post anymore. Yeah. That means like I don't want to do it. But for me, there's a difference between like feeling like I'm not in the right situation.
Is that because you can do it from wherever? Like let's take a cooking creator.
Yeah.
I mean, you could still get creative with it. But, some people like their sets. Some people like their studios. Some people like to have their own kitchen, their own materials.
I mean, what are you going to do at that point, I guess?
Well, cancel your vacation, cancel going to a family event. Like, I think that is part of the question at hand. Like, how do you manage there's different types of pressures, like we said.
I don't know that I have good advice for it, but I will tell you what I've done is I've certainly like sacrificed parts of my life to make sure that our most popular season is the summer. Yeah. The summer is also the most popular season to do shit and go out. To drink margaritas and go on vacations and lay on the beach and do all that shit. And I've sacrificed plenty of vacations because I wanted to do the content stuff. Right? If I felt like I was like, oh God, I fucking hate this. My friends are going away for a week. I want to join them, but like I have to do this thing. I wouldn't do that. But like at where I'm at, my vacation is me enjoying this stuff, right? So I think for me, the way I would put it is like if I want to do it, I'm going to continue doing it. And I stopped looking at what the outside world looks at as like the right work-life balance, or like, oh, you should take a vacation. I'm like, what if I'm just as happy doing this as you are when you're on vacation?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I look at it. So I think everyone should find what that is to them.
Yeah. I was thinking about that yesterday. I got a question on Snap that was like, how do I, break into sports? How do I get into sports? All this stuff. I always give like a pause to people being like, it's not sports. You're not getting into sports. You're getting into sports business, right? Like, you need to love sports business to get into this industry. Like, if you go work for the Knicks, you're not watching the game tonight, right? Like, you're not, and it's perfectly fine if you just like being a fan. Like, I actually think a lot of people who love sports, who want to get into sports, need to go into sports, find out, like, you're not going to get paid shit, you're going to work. Like, think about when games are played. Weekends, nights, holidays. Like, that is when sports are going on. So you got to hate weekends, you got to hate nights, you got to hate, and you don't even get to watch half the time. Like, last night, we were literally fucking sitting courtside at a Boston Celtics playoff game, and we had to get up in the middle of the second quarter to, like, film the content. I've done a nice job of, like, blending it so we can still enjoy it, but that's always my first reminder. Number 2 was I woke up at like 6 a.m. to make my flight to Boston to do a whole work day. And then the true work day started on camera content from 5 to midnight. Not for a second was I like, wow, I got like a 16-hour work day today.
Yeah.
And so unless you're thinking like that, you're not doing what you truly want to be doing.
Okay. So basing it off of the way that you set it up, right? Like, your YouTube's kind of rolling right now, and now you're about to leave for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So is there a part of you that's like, fuck? Like, is there a way we could squeeze the video in before I leave, like the day before I leave, and then like,
this is the exception.
Okay.
If you guys don't know what I'm leaving for, it's my wedding and honeymoon. So like,
fuck that.
I mean, there was an internal joke, like, what's the brand deal? What is the price of the brand deal that we could move?
Okay.
Away?
What's the view count we need to hit for you to be fired up enough?
So this one is so far outside, but we did it for. We had this amazing opportunity to go on a family vacation. It was a cruise down in the Caribbean over Christmas, New Year's, but we were doing Snapback Thursdays, and like there was one more game, and it was like this awkward, weird fight with my mom being like, because she commit to it for us because it was like a big family thing. And I was like, I can't.
Dude,
like,
I will say the other thing about working in the industry that we work in, it's not that people don't take me seriously or like, or understand that I'm not serious about my job.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, no,
you're watching a game.
I need to cover this game or something. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, come do this thing. It's like a Sunday, and I'm like, I literally work in football, you fucking asshole. Right. Like, I have to be locked in at some point, Like, people.
And
like,
it's even worse for the gamers. Like,
exactly.
They're the worst. It's like, just people don't understand. Dude, it's a video game. Like, you could do that whenever. So there was that moment. We did go on the vacation. At that, if it was now, like, fast forward 12 months, because at that point it was just like me, Casey, and we had a video editor. But now, we can't do that. So are you okay missing those moments? And for me, like, Boston was amazing last night, and every game I go to, I'm so happy to be there. But if this all ties back
and I also want to say too, like, that's your version of it. Like, because from the outside, it's like, of course I would do that if my job was going to Boston. But for me, like, the part that I enjoy is literally sitting at a computer and like researching. The enjoy I get from that, as crazy as you might not believe that, I get like similar highs.
And you would have no interest in going to Boston. No interest.
If you invited me last night, like, I would have went, but like
one time,
sure,
which is kind of the point.
My thing is, like, I'm willing to miss that thing for my version of the Boston game, which is like doing the work for the content stuff.
And everyone is like, oh my God, you have a dream job. I do have a dream job. I just want people to understand there's other parts of it that you got to work. Like, you can get here. That is why that's why we do this show, because there's no guarantee you're going to get here. It might take you a decade to get here, but you actually can get here. For the first time in life, you can build leverage. It doesn't matter what you look like, how old you are, who you know, you can get there. And I think that's my love for social and content.
Yeah. I also think it's fine to take a break. Like, I know people who have made content for fucking years on end that when we were in Arizona for the Super Bowl, we were with Mason, Fantasy Flock. I mean, I think he's made like 3 videos a day for probably going on like 4 years straight.
Yeah,
and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that. And he was like, man, I have like no interest really to like jump back into next season's content yet.
Really?
It was the Super Bowl of the season prior. He's like, I don't really want to make fantasy videos for 2024 yet. I'm like, take a break then. Like relax for like.
He's crazy because like he'll then just run like a marathon and do
he got like lost in the mountains like after that conversation, like, after a 22-mile run.
Yeah.
But like I'm just saying there are people that even at the highest level will need a break, and you could take a break and. You know, you take a break for like a year, yeah, there might be some consequences to it.
Major. Well, that's what I was going to say. When we were growing up and we were taught about like getting a career and working at a job, it was like expected, at least from everything I grew up with, your 20s is when you were like grinding. Like that is like the working weekends, working nights, like that's fine. You can work and not have to take a break or need vacation. Like you should have to work through times you are burnt out. Also, I feel like sometimes we're just allowing people to like almost take the easy way out. Like sometimes just work your ass off. I think we miss a little bit of that.
I agree with that too. Like your 20s is the time that you should be your most energized, and you should be spending all that energy on building something that you love doing. If you put 10 years into work to something you love, like you're gonna have something cool probably at the end of it. But I agree. I think people love to like virtue signal about this kind of stuff, and then it becomes like an adoption by the masses.
I think it all stemmed from this. We sent an email to an agency about, I think it was like a brand deal or something, and they sent an automated email back that they were on their down week from their 3x1 stress relieving work schedule, which is a 3-week sprint followed by a very, very low maintenance period where they don't review emails. They're just relaxing and recharging. And it might work for people, but like just work all 4 weeks. There's a fucking work.
It was kind of funny because we had, after we like ran those Blue Chew ads like a month or two ago, I had emailed the rep to try to get like feedback or results. And I had like emailed her on like a Friday afternoon. And then like, I think JMO texted me like Saturday morning and was like, do we get the results back? And I was like, I know Blue Chew's like a funny thing, but they're a corporate job. You know, like we're not hearing results back for like a week Monday, probably on that kind of stuff. And sometimes you got to remind, like it's hard to remind yourself of that just because it's not even like, oh, we're working on weekends all the time and like we love what we do. Like we are obviously, but a lot of the stuff that we do end up covering is happening on the weekend. So we're like, yeah, maybe I won't work on a Tuesday, but I'm probably working on like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing. So it's just a weird distinction.
There's never a better time to be in life because the amount of information that you can get for free from the smartest people, the most successful people, the most creative people, it's like insane. Like you used to have to buy books and shit. Like I know you got to filter for it. I know you got to be good at finding it. But
but there's so much. Okay, there's as much information as possible available. There's also as much bad information.
Yeah, you got to be able to weed through.
I want to give you an example.
Hold on, let me finish this.
Okay.
My point is, no matter who you listen to, what you listen to, what industry, what niche, literally 100%, not 99, not 98, 100%, there is a common theme, and it's that they just worked way harder than everyone.
100%. Gary Vee always says, he says the only variable is work. The only variable you can control is the work you put in.
So maybe we shouldn't talk about the pressure to keep posting. Maybe we should just keep fucking posting.
Honestly, yeah. Also that too. Just shut the fuck up and post your shit, ho.
We started off trying to. All right, what were you gonna say?
Okay, last night my groin was acting up. Like I pulled it at the combine, right? And it's slowly been getting better. But now that we're like a couple of weeks out from it, I'm like, should I still be icing it? And I only ice it for like the first few days because originally I read like you should ice it for the first 72 hours to help with swelling. And then I Googled and it was like, now you should switch over to like heat sensation or whatever. And then like the second one was like new study published that icing is actually counterproductive at any point of an injury because you need swelling in order for, it's like the inflammation is good for it. So you need the swelling in order for it to come back down. I'm like, and it's from like a real like fucking website that did a study. Yeah. And I'm like, the internet's insane. I don't know what, there's the right answer for everything.
For everything. And both sides are the right
Both sides have scientific backed research proving the other side wrong.
I do think
I don't know what to do anymore.
Like, this is a perfect example because we're both nursing injuries. Like, I hurt my back, and it was like, all right, I'm doing the exercises. But, like, if I were, and we started this episode by talking about the same idea, like, step outside of it, it's like, go do 20 more minutes of your core exercises like you should be. Like, don't be surprised, like, that you're a week or two delayed on your recovery. Like, it's just on you. Like, just fucking work harder. Yep. And when you hit that mental wall, like, just, you got to push through it. That's why before we started, you were like,
you're going to the gym.
I got to go to the gym. Like,
you don't want to go to the gym. That's the only time you actually need to. The other times are easy. The other times you want to go to the gym, you go to the fucking gym.
And honestly, like, lifting weights is my least favorite exercise. Love playing basketball, love boxing, love doing pretty much
boxing.
Yeah. Not anyone, just on the bag. I can't get hit.
Better.
But, like, I think there's probably a little part of me that still just mostly does lifting weights because it just flexes that muscle. That's a terrible.
Don't.
Terrible.
Just go past that.
Of like, I got to go to the gym and, like, do the workout.
Yeah.
It's helpful. Because people, we don't go to that place anymore.
Dude, so I listened to, did you listen to the Andrew Huberman and,
How to Date 6 Women at the Same Time?
I didn't listen to that one, but I imagine he probably has some good advice on it. Andrew Huberman and David Goggins.
Okay.
Did you listen to it?
I did not, but I followed Goggins.
Okay, so they did a podcast together. It was probably like maybe 2 months ago at this point, maybe even longer than that. And he was saying how there's like new information coming out about the brain that basically they've found the willpower center of the brain. And you grow it by doing things that you don't want to do, that you really don't want to do. So when you go and do, especially from physical activity, so when you go to the gym today after not wanting to do it, that will help you grow your willpower. Yeah. But doing things that like you think you don't want to do, or that most people don't want to do, but you actually like kind of enjoy it, does not help that. Like if you went there today and you loved bench pressing, that's not helping your willpower at all.
It's like doing the legs.
Right. And it's something that needs to be continuously built. But you can raise the roof on the willpower. But as soon as you stop, as soon as that voice, like it might level up. Like you might get to the point where it's like doing pull-ups is something that you hated and it builds your willpower. You get good at them, right? And now a set of 8 or 10, and you're like, oh, I don't mind doing it. That no longer builds your willpower anymore. If you keep doing it again, now you have to go to something that's like really uncomfortable.
Makes sense.
So I would challenge you, like anytime you come across something, you're like, I'm tired. I don't really feel like doing that. By you doing that, you're building willpower in every other aspect of your life as well. Let's go to the fucking gym, Jack.
I'm going to.
Good.